Dr. Cheryl G. Murphy from Science Hidden in Plain Sight, and this is my homage to Wired Autocomplete Interviews. Sponsored by conjunctivitis.com. No, just kidding. Okay, so the first question is, why do my eyes tear up when I yawn? When you yawn, your facial muscles sort of spread out, contract. You know, you give your big wide open mouth, you squeeze your eyes together tight, and that squeezes the lacrimal gland or the tear gland that's in our upper lids. And that causes a little bit of tears that it had been making anyway to be squeezed out, and then sometimes it kind of tears down your cheek once that happens. Let's see. Why do my eyes get heavy when I'm tired? One of the reasons why that happens is because the eyes, just like the rest of the body, you know, have muscles. The eyelids have muscles in it. And when your body gets tired, your muscles get tired, and so do the muscles around your eyes. So next question, let's see if we can peel this off without ripping it. Why do my eyes itch? Itch is a hallmark sign of allergy, so if you're experiencing really itchy eyes, and if they're red and tearing, it might be a sign that allergies, systemic allergies, are also affecting your eyes. So if your eyes itch where you really, really want to get in there and rub them, see your eye doctor, and they can give you a prescription eye drop medication to help treat allergies. Also, cool compresses will also help relieve the itch, and artificial tears as needed. Again, a good natural remedy to kind of soothing your eyes when they are itchy. Don't use Visine or Clear Eyes or anything AC that gets the red out. Next question, why do my eyes hurt when I move them? Your eyes hurt when you move them. You shouldn't have any pain upon eye movements, so if you do, go see your eye doctor to get it checked out to make sure it's nothing going on with an inflammation in the muscles around the eye or anything like that. They shouldn't hurt when you move them. Why do my eyes go dry? You can have dryness for a variety of reasons. Most people that suffer from true dry eye syndrome have a deficiency in one of the components of the tears. There's 3 different layers to the tears. There's like a layer of fat, a layer of water, or the part of our tears we naturally think of. And then there's also like a small layer of oil on top that kind of holds that water layer down towards the surface of the eye. If any one of those 3 components to the tears are missing, it's a recipe for dryness. Also, sometimes nowadays everybody gets dry because we're using a computer so much, we're looking at screens so much, and they've done studies to show that when you look at a screen, you actually blink less times per minute, and when you don't blink, your upper lid doesn't have a chance to come swipe down a new layer of tears over the surface of your eye, and the tears that are there coating your eye have a chance to evaporate away without that new layer being swiped on them. Why do my eyes lose focus? Your eyes could lose focus because of dryness, like we talked about. It could be that you need a prescription, something to help your eyes stay in focus effortlessly without strain. So again, if your eyes are having trouble staying focused, I would say take a break, you know, look at something far away, blink a couple times, drink some water, come back to your work. If it still persists, you really need to go to an eye doctor to see, you know, what's going on. Each case is a little different. Why do my eyes cry when I cut onions? This is one of my favorite questions. When we slice an onion, we slice through the onion cells. This question just won't leave me alone. And that releases a gas that is infiltrated into the air. That gas touches the front surface of our eye and it actually burns our eye. So our eye's response is to almost think like it has a chemical on the surface of itself, so it tries to kind of rinse it away by overproducing tears to kind of try to wash it out. So those onion goggles work though. No, I'm just kidding, nobody's sporting those. Not a lot of people anyway. The onion goggle people are gonna call me now. Why do my eyes see stars? Because you're looking at the night sky. No. I'm assuming they mean when you close your eyes, sometimes you see little lights or little specks. You know, that can be a combination of after images from the light that you just saw right before you closed your eyes, and also like a little bit of neural activity happening in the light receptors of your retina. They're still active, it's a living tissue, it's still processing things, so you might see a little bit of you know, a little bit of static from that. Next question, why do my eyes twitch? Sometimes the lower lid can twitch, and people will notice like their whole vision sort of get shaky, and then they look at themselves in the mirror up close and they see that their lower lid is twitching. Or sometimes someone else tells them like, hey, your lower lid is pulsing. Sometimes you can get that twitch from being dehydrated, so not drinking enough water, too much caffeine, which also dehydrates you, stress, lack of sleep, certain foods can sort of trigger, or lack of foods can sort of trigger, you know, that muscle to spasm. And the last question on this board, thank God the other paper didn't rip when we're pulling this off. Why do my eyes get blurry at night? If you're clear all throughout the day at all distances and your vision gets blurry at night, like after you've done a lot of near work or paperwork on the computer, it could be like a focusing problem. You were over focused so much for up close that when you go to drive home at night and look in the far distance, your eyes kind of need a chance to kind of relax away from doing all of that near work. Or at night is when most people notice that if they do have a small prescription, a mild prescription for glasses, and they're not using it, or if they have one and they don't even know they need it, you'll notice it most at night, that fine blur, because there's no colors around to give you a clue about what something is or where it is. Everything's just black, white, and gray. So if you're losing a little bit of fine clarity, you'll notice it most at night. That's that board. Second board. Please don't sue us, Wired Magazine. No, I'm just kidding. It's out of respect that we're doing this. We love what you do. Okay, why can't I? No, I'm just kidding. Why can't I see at night? Well, we just talked about this on the first board. Sometimes when you can't see at night, it's because you have a little bit of refractive error or a little bit of a prescription needed. You know, just when you feel you need it, particularly when driving at night in the rain or snow or in an unfamiliar area for everything to come into fine focus in the distance. That can be one of the reasons why you can't see at night. Another reason why some people have trouble seeing at night is they have a problem with a certain photoreceptor of the retina called rods. You probably remember from high school, the eyes or the retina is made up of rods and cones, different type of photoreceptors or light receptors. So rods have a lot to do with our nighttime vision. So if you're really having a problem at night, you should go to your eye doctor to get examined and have them kind of pursue why that's happening. Is there something going on with your retina that needs to be looked at, or the macula a little deeper? They'll be able to help you answer that question if glasses aren't the only thing that's stopping you from seeing well at night. Why can't I look at the sun? You can look at the sun, but just a quick glance. You don't want to stare at the sun too much. That can cause solar retinopathy or damage to the retina. The sun is very powerful. Those UVA, UVB rays from the sun are no joke. They're very damaging to the retina. They're what cause cataracts in our eyes slowly. You know, when we're in our 50s or 60s, we start to see signs of cumulative damage from UV light just from being around and outdoors in our everyday life. So you don't want to stare directly at the sun. Not a good thing. And if you're watching a solar eclipse, get those glasses and make sure you're getting them from a reliable source. Why can't I see up close anymore? So usually when all of us turn about the big 4-0, we start to need a little bit of help from our friend reading glasses. We have a crystalline lens that sits behind our iris. That lens sort of autofocuses things like a camera for distance and for near. It works really well when we're a kid, but by the time we're about 40, even though the muscles attached to the lens still work very well, the lens itself, the proteins in the lens change and the lens gets a little more rigid. So even though those muscles that hold on to the crystalline lens are trying to shift and change our focus, it just can't quite change the shape of that lens. That's when we need a little bit of plus lenses to kind of help us do that. Happens to everybody. A lot of people don't know it, but it happens to everybody. And that concludes our autocomplete interview. I hope you liked this. It's something I'm going to be trying more often on Science Hidden in Plain Sight. If you have any questions on the eyes, you can feel free to leave them in the comments below and let us know what you think. Thank you very much. Sponsored by conjunctivitis.com. Ooh, live it, love it. Get yours today. No, I'm just kidding. Not conjunctivitis, the mug. Bye now.